So I've cleaned up my newspaper. I now have my magazine strips. And the rolling process is the same. It's just different size of paper. So most likely most of your magazine strips are going to be a little bit shorter than your newspaper. Some might be slightly thinner, like my National Geographic. My strips are slightly thinner than 4 inches. They're definitely a lot shorter than my newspaper. If I line it up here. But it's the same rolling process. So I can again use my straight edge, longest straight edge towards me. Going to take my pencil or my dowel rod, whatever tool I'm using to roll my tubes. And I'm going to pick up that straight edge, start tucking it underneath my tool. And once I get it tucked under, I'm going to continue to roll up my paper around my tool. When I reach the edge, I'm going to once again take my glue, apply a bead, going to use my finger to thin out that glue, help spread it around. This will again help it to bond quicker. Roll up my tube, pick up my pencil or whatever tool I'm using to make my tubes, and I'm going to work along that edge until that paper starts staying down on its own. So the more glue you use, the sloppier it is, the longer this is going to take for these to glue together. Now I can't stress enough that even though the edge may start sticking, that doesn't mean your glue is dry yet. Doesn't mean it's fully set. It's just set up enough that it's holding a slight bond. So do be careful what you do with these after you first glue them. Now that my edge is staying down, I'm again going to remove my pencil. So I'm going to use another pencil to again push it out. And once again, I'm going to put the tube off to the side. So I once again have a little bit of glue on my work surface. I'm going to take some cleaner, wipe that up before I move on. So just to demonstrate once again, I'm going to start with my straight edge towards me. I'm going to take my tool, lay it along the straight edge, pick up the edge of my magazine, start rolling it up, tucking it underneath my tool. Once it tucks under and starts rolling, I'm going to roll till I get near the edge, say anywhere from 1 inch to 1/2 inch from that edge. Going to take my glue, and if you're using liquid glue, again, touch the tip of the bottle to the paper, get a very thin bead of glue there, and then thin out that glue even further so that it will bond a little faster. Roll up my paper the rest of the way, pick up my tool in the paper, work along that edge to seal it down. Once my edge is sticking down, I like to remove my hands a little bit, see if anything's lifting up. If it is lifting up, then I work that edge a little bit more. If it's not lifting up, then I'm going to remove my tool. And once again, put this off to the side for drying. I'm going to also demonstrate, once again, the corner rolling method, this time with my magazine. So once again, I want the corner coming towards me, so my paper is slightly slanted. I'm going to lay my tool down near the corner. I want about a 30-60 degree angle, right triangle there. I want more of my tool up towards the side that has more paper, less of my tool down at the edge that has less paper. And once again, I'm going to pick up my corner, start rolling my paper around my tube, around my pencil to create a tube. And as I get near the edge, and I just have a bit of corner left, once again I'm going to take my glue, apply it to that corner, thin it out, continue rolling my paper, pick up my tube, work along that edge to help seal it down. Once it is sticking, then I'm going to remove my tool and put this off to the side to continue drying. And once again, if I have any glue on my work surface, before I start with the next piece of paper, I want to clean that off. And I'll demonstrate once again this method. So once again, I'm going to lay my paper down. I want the corner coming towards me. Going to take my tool, lay it down so that I have about a 30-60 degree angle. I'm going to make sure more of my tool is up towards the side that has more paper. Less of my tool is down here towards the side with less paper. I'm going to once again pick up my corner, tuck it underneath my tool, begin rolling my paper up around my tool. When I have a bit of a corner left, I'm going to apply some glue. Once again, I'm going to thin out my glue. Continue rolling. Pick up my tube, work along that edge. If my corner is not lifting, then I'm going to remove my tool, and I'm going to set this piece off to the side to dry. So that is the two methods in which you can make your paper tubes for your project. You can use either newspaper or magazine, or you can use a combination. Newspaper is of course going to give you black and white, maybe a little bit of color depending on your newspaper. Most magazines have a lot of color, so you may get a little bit more color in your tubes. But you're going to need to make about 60 of these tubes, whether it's paper or magazine. So either method, either material, you can use either roll method. You can use a combination of the materials, just as long as you create these paper tubes for your project.